You are listening to Love, Light, Lonnie, the podcast. I'm Lonnie Nishiyama, and join me as we discover the gifts that live within all of us and how these gifts bring us together to love, help others, inspire, and of course, vibrate higher. Welcome to Love, Light, Lonnie. Hi everyone, I'm Lonnie Nishiyama, and today I'm super excited because I have someone amazing on Love Light Lonnie, and this is the Galya.
Oh my goodness.
I know, I talk about you a lot.
AKA her Pisces twin, if you don't know.
It's true, and I'm sorry for both of us. But yeah, no, we're here. We're so excited. We're ready to get this started. And more importantly, we've developed a friendship over the past, I don't even know how many months. It's been about a year now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We met each other working out.
Of course.
Because Galya is an amazing fitness instructor, and her class is so amazing that I went to it. And after class, she was like, I don't know, how did that even happen? You just came up to me.
Yeah. It was so random. Like, I was like, who is this girl? Like, I'm like, she reminds me of me. And just the way she was just so hardcore, wanting to, like, she got every rep. She didn't even care. She was screaming through it. And I was like, oh, that's me. I got it.
So, yes, yeah. It is very true. And I actually love your class because it was the only class that really challenged me. I mean, other classes, they challenged me, but with yours, I felt like I would always die every time and that I was rebirthed.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And so we became fast friends, and we got Starbucks after that and just realized we had so much in common, like not just being Pisces together, but just our whole lives. And like, it's very parallel. And we were just going through a time where I felt like you and I could just chat it up and like really connect. And everything was like so synchronized. It was really beautiful. So we became really good friends. And now she's on the show because she even scares me.
Honestly, I'm so honored. To scare this one is a gift.
No, honestly, like she would say things to me and I'm like, that is so profound. I'm like, this is dangerous. Like you and I are going to be, I don't know. Actually, they have given us a name at your job that I work at.
Yes.
We are
the spicy Pisces, apparently.
Yes, apparently. Very spicy.
I mean, I like spicy food, so
Me
I guess.
Too. Yeah.
I know.
We both grew up with spicy food and island life. But more importantly, she actually has been a terrific friend to me this year and has shown me things spiritually, both good and bad, and brought things to light for me that I think I really needed to go through. So, she also was someone that inspired me to do my podcast. I was a little nervous in the beginning, and after us being together for a while and she helped open up my gift too, she was like, just do it. I'm like, okay. And then I decided to do it and totally take my life, my career, my everything in a different direction. So I'm very grateful for that. And today we have the honor of talking to Galya.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Yes. First of all, I didn't even know that I was any part of, getting her to do this. And it's funny because all I want is to be able to even learn more about this. I've been watching every single one of her episodes, and like, honestly, Love Light Lonnie has touched my soul. I know it's touched others. And the fact that you even got this idea that you had and you put it together and you just made it happen. Yeah. Like you just went with it. You were literally, she was like, okay, and got it together. And so like for me, being here, as honored as I am, like I kind of want to learn more about what this journey has been for you.
Yes.
So, what was your favorite part of creating this, of manifesting this vision that you had? And what was maybe something you'd do differently next time?
Totally. Plus and delta. So for me, I know my business background, here we go. But honestly, the coolest thing that happened to me in this whole process was not only did I learn about myself, but I felt like everyone who was going through the same thing that I was going through was connecting with me, whether it was through this podcast or in real life, whatever it was. I just felt like very connected to people. And that to me was everything, because at the end of the day, like, I just want to make sure we are all loving each other on the same page and like working hard to be better people. And it's not easy to do. And I struggle with this every day, where I'm like, how detached should I be? How close to people should I be? How am I going to heal myself? And it's like, I just want to make sure that if I'm putting in the effort, that's all that matters. And I have to give myself kudos for that. And I want everyone else who's doing that to feel the same way. And I feel like anyone who was on this journey with me on this podcast, or just in this freaking 2022 year, had to have learned some things, because it was an intense year.
Yes, it was.
I feel like I learned everything. I'm like, this is like mind blowing. So it's been really crazy. But what I would change is my openness, because as open as I am, and I do this podcast and everything, I could even be more open. And I kind of hold back a little bit, because I feel like I can't expose myself that much. There is like a scariness, a danger about it. So in that respect, in that regard, I know I could work on it. And that would just benefit everyone listening and benefit myself, because I shouldn't care how I'm judged or anything like that. So that's how I would change things. And actually, one of my favorite episodes I did was with my friend Colt, because I felt like he was talking about, even when he came out, not just sexually, but like in his sexuality, but like also just in his, he really came out about who he was and like his struggles. And like, I think that was really hard for him, even just being on my podcast, because he resonates with something very different and in his career. So that for him was like really hard, but it showed me a lot and how brave he was. And it made me want to be more brave. So that's where I feel like I could really work on, like being more brave and open with the audience, which I will try next season. Yeah. But as far as Galya goes, how have you felt that 2022 has changed you? That's a really loaded question.
That is such a load. It's like, I know. How much time we got? I mean, literally. Wow. I think, kind of similar to you in the sense of, I do think this year has brought both of us in a place of facing our fears and overcoming challenges, and a lot of it to do with that, like because you just expressed that you're like, I would be more vulnerable and everything, but there's a whole world of self-work and acceptance that has to happen before you even are able, like, it's so understandable why we wouldn't be able to just open that door. And even as me, someone who's been creative, and I love playing with that vulnerability aspect, have even learned how difficult it is because of the society that we live in, everything that we're overcoming so many different things, whether it be our upbringing, our world around us, everything plays a factor. There is not one thing that doesn't, fall into the other. But I think,
well, you're also an actor, so you're very connected to all of this.
Yes. But even being somebody who, part of my work is tapping into that vulnerability. It's not an easy thing to do. And you have been able to do something that I think is a difficult task, actually, even for an actor, being a very good listener. And I've been in awe of just watching the way that you are able to bring somebody in, be so grounded, be so connected and empathic, and just letting anybody that she's brought have that space to feel safe. And the fact that you've been aware of their vulnerability only comes from the fact that you've given them that space. And that's the beautiful thing about what you bring and what you do. And I've been I love watching her grow in this, because
thank you.
That is a true gift that you have.
Right.
And this is how I've grown, is by having, people who are willing to create things like this and bring in awareness to many things that maybe we don't talk about every day. And so, yeah, I think for me, this year has been about overcoming, facing my fears, challenges, and you have brought highlight to that with your show. And so it's even inspired me. And so I'm very grateful.
Thank you. You're so sweet. I appreciate that because it's been a tough year as far as just all of us came out of a pandemic and we were like, what do we do with our lives? Are we happy? I think everyone was reflecting upon, am I happy where I'm at right now? Or how can I shift? How can I grow? How can I change? And I think we've all now realized that we have to make shifts in our lives. Otherwise, we will be stuck. Yeah. And I think one really cool thing that I felt with you as becoming a new friend was that you don't really judge me. And that is something that I cherish because I feel like my whole life I've been judged, by friends, by family, like whatever, organizations, whatever I'm part of. I've always felt judged and I have to be perfect and I have to do this because I have my own issues with abandonment. But at the end of the day, those issues have come up now in my life and I'm grateful for it because it's at a perfect time where it can teach me lessons so that I can be a better parent. Because otherwise, I would not reflect and look at myself and make any positive changes. So for me, this year has been great in that aspect. It's been difficult as F. And I'm just realizing my power. And I don't care anymore. You can hate me. You can hate on me. You can talk about me. I've had it all my whole life. I don't even care anymore. At this point, I'm just like, I got to do me. I got to be happy. And in order for me to fulfill my destiny, if you will, in this lifetime and help others and make sure I'm the best mom I can be, I need to be able to accept all those things and realize that I'm not perfect and I don't really care if people think about me anymore. I know.
Yes.
I don't know why I gave a fight. This is a fight on. This is like, no, this is like when I went to college. I don't know why I did that. Okay. But I was feeling it.
I feel it. I feel all of that. And you're so right. That's exactly all it is.
Yeah.
And look, at the end of the day, I guess what you sense as someone who doesn't judge just stems from the fact that I am just so aware of what a creature of progress I am.
Yeah.
And that means we all are. And how can I judge anything that isn't even to its completion? I mean, really, there's nothing final about the human experience until it's final, right? And even that is a whole nother thing. We don't even have time for that.
Yeah, no. What happens after that?
Yes, I just think we are just such, beautiful works in progress. And sometimes, every spectrum of that is going to be looked at in different angles. And remember, like, judgment comes from the filter that people are perceiving through their own experiences, their own transgressions that they're working towards. So like, how could I take anything personal that comes from somebody else's pain or traumas or, perception of what the world looks like outside? I couldn't, because it's not real. So I think that's where it comes from, that we are like, I'm just in awe of growth.
Yeah.
And people that are like willing to dive into that, because it's beautiful
and it's so hard.
Yeah, it's so hard. It's so hard, and that's why we need Love Light Lonnie.
I know, honestly, like we'll call each other on the phone, and we're like, we shouldn't judge this person right now. We can't judge them. We need to come from love. I'm like, it's so hard.
Always. I mean, she is. And it's so important. I always tell her, I'm like, I don't know how we met just in this year, and I feel like we've done this so many times and we've known each other, and I'm actually closer to her than I am.
Well, we joke that we would be dead if we met earlier.
We probably would. We probably would.
In our early 20s, you'd be dead.
Probably true. But it's been such a gift, because in such a challenging year, just like you brought up, to have this blessing of a wonderful friendship of two people that like are just in this journey of growth and like are there to be like, hey, it's all good.
It's all good.
You have a bad day, that's totally fine. I'm with you. You have a good day, great. I celebrate you. Like there is no, there's no wrong. Every day is a beautiful new experience.
And those new experiences have increased because even now we'll be like challenging each other a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And it's so dumb because it's like a spiritual argument.
The only
I know. We're like the only two people in the world that's like, well, I don't know. Would you come at this with guilt or would you come at this with and we're like, what are we even talking about? People would be like, this doesn't even make sense. This is not even a fight, but we're just like getting our feelings out because we do still approach life differently.
Yes.
We're both Pisces, but our moons are different. I'm Taurus and you're Aries, which also get along, but also don't. And then I don't know. I'm a Libra.
Wait, I'm a Libra moon, and I'm an Aries rising. See, we just mixed this all.
Yeah, but I have Libra too, so we both have Pisces and Libra, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And
then just our separation is basically she got the earth and I got the fire. So sometimes like conflict.
I'm like, I just want to like go and camp out and like be in my cozy little onesie, and you're like, no. It's so true. Yeah, I love it. But we've also been through a lot. Just I feel like both of our spirituality was challenged this year. 2022 for me was a lot of reflection about how I interact with others, but also where am I on this spiritual journey, and like where am I going to go with this, and am I going to stop? No. I'm going to continue on, and it may look different than yours. It may look different than the other person's, but I'm going to do it. And I'm not going to stop because my ultimate goal is to always be a good person and someone that can help others and someone that doesn't have to repeat these things over and over again. Like I want to learn my lessons and move forward.
Yes.
Like
let's get it done.
I don't want to be stagnant anymore. I don't want to be stuck in things that I don't need to be stuck in.
Yeah.
So
break the patterns.
Get
out of the loop. I mean, that sounds so good.
It's also the ancestral stuff because it comes from generations. And, like what my parents did, I remember being like, I will never be like my parents. And now I do so many things where I'm like, that was my mother. That was my father. Like, what is happening? And I'm like, stop it, Lonnie, stop it. So I'm at a point now where I'm like, I need to break those cycles in a positive way. And then keep all the good stuff too, because there's still good stuff.
There is.
I've learned to be very humble. My mom always said, kill people with kindness. And even I had bullies at school and she's like, just smile through it. I was like, smile through it. I'm like, no, I need to go work out at the gym and get really strong and defend myself, Yeah. But she was like, just smile through it. I'm like, okay. But now I'm like, I kind of get it, I kind of get it. So I'm learning a lot now about who I am, and it's been a wonderful year, and who I am as a friend. Because I think I used to just be such a giver, and I do give still. I am a giver.
You are a giver. We're Pisces.
I know.
Can't help it. It's
in different ways we give. I mean, she literally comes over, and I'm like, "Can I whip you up a meal?"
Yeah, and it's a good meal. I'm always like, yes. I will.
You do eat
I will accept
all my food.
I do. It's so good. I can't help it.
I know. So we do that, but you also give to me in other ways. Like her as a fitness instructor, I go to her classes here in the South Bay, and they're just so amazing. And I literally show up every time, and I feel like I get energy from that. So that's a gift that she gives. And can you talk a little bit about that actually, like your journey with the physical fitness world? Because it's something different for me as someone who's like a spectator who takes class, but for you as a teacher, how has that shifted for you?
Well, it's so interesting. Again, 2022. Yeah. Because I mean, this was something I used to do long ago, and then I fell back into it. And it's been a different experience. I used to come from it from the different angle of where every instructor, and when fitness was just about more of the, the goals that you have physically. And now for me, it's such a spiritual journey. So for me, it's just kind of bringing a space where people can kind of challenge themselves and realize that they are bigger than whatever they're experiencing. So even when the body wants to kind of quit, or you're tired, or everything, to help them and coach them to find out that they have way more than that. So I don't know, for me, it's just become this thing of creating this space that I think to some can be intimidating if they're not in the right mindset, but that's okay too. Come be intimidated and you might learn something. And so, I think for me, it's just about bringing people into self-discovery, because that's been my journey. So I love it. Movement is a blessing and a gift that we have. And while we're in this physical experience and we have the blessing to be able to do it, we should utilize it. Absolutely. And to be in touch with that strength, just like she said, because I share that same thing. Like, there's nothing better than feeling in my power, in my strength, in my, just everything, being connected to every muscle, everything that is holding me together in this physical experience. Because I know, beyond that, it's a whole nother thing. But in this capsule, I can keep this thing, nurture it, strengthen it, and it fuels me, So it's a gift to move, period.
It is a gift. Mm-hmm. And I actually value it very much. It's something that means everything to me. I try to do it every day. If I don't, it's because I need a day off, but like, I do cherish that. And it's interesting because as much as I like move my body and I do whatever, I don't think that I would be where I'm at without the instructors in my life, or the people like you who inspire us to move our bodies, because I can't self-motivate myself that way very well. And so that's why I pay for a class, or I sign up for something and I have someone motivate me. So what you do is a gift, and you give it to people so that they can move their bodies, not only to be healthy, but to balance their energy and to figure out what matters to them. And there's something about being strong physically sometimes. Like, you don't have to be the most muscular person in the we're like 5 feet tall, so there's no we're not just in like reference, we're like in scale, we're very tiny. But like, I feel like being strong and feeling strong, it transfers over into my psyche, into like my energy field. And so like, when I am feeling strong physically, then the rest of my life I feel stronger too. Mm-hmm. And so it's a beautiful thing what you do. It's a gift that you give to people so that they can feel that way throughout their whole lives in every plane. Yeah. And I love that. And also, what you guys probably don't know as well is that Galya and I, well, you can probably tell, we're both very spiritual, but she has these amazing gifts, and a lot of them come in dreams. And I did want to bring this up if you were open to it, because I feel like so many people, actually all of us, every person out there has dreams, and they can come to fruition, or they have some symbolism, or they have a meaning behind it. And even though I try to run away from my dreams a lot, I know I do, but it's completely real and true. And maybe you can share some of your insight about like how that has affected your life, your daily life, and the way that you operate with people or energies.
So I love this. Yes. Dreams it's a whole world for me. I've been such a dreamer since I was little. Literally could remember my dreams from when I was 2 years old. And it used to be a bit of a nightmare growing up. Mm-hmm. I was that child with the night terrors, and sleep was like a curse, actually, where thank goodness you age and then you realize you're like, if I can get some sleep, it's so good. And so it used to be a curse to me, and I would prevent it as much as I could. And it wasn't until later on in my life that I realized the, blessing that even being able to dream. And now it's kind of an adventure every night, and I actually will it and always go to sleep with like, an openness of like whatever I, will witness or experience in those dreams. And I would be able to remember my dreams. Sometimes there would be messages. Sometimes I'd feel compelled to express it to friends or people that I know that were the message would come through for, and a lot of those things would be real. And that was a weird experience. It's something definitely that can be strange unless you're somebody, you know, for us, there's no weird. I mean, weird is like, bring it on, you know, there's
Speak
no
for yourself.
I'm
just kidding.
But yeah, I think the biggest thing is that I would say in this is that it is a gift. It's not a curse. So if there's anybody that still feels like that is kind of a curse, or I don't get it, or it's confusing, or it's not anything. I truly believe that when we sleep, there's such a healing element. It's this beautiful moment that we get to reset ourselves. You know, there's so many aspects, not just our physical, which even the fact that I am an instructor and I, you know, work in this physical environment, my approach is always to connect our spiritual, our mind, everything. It's a whole connectivity. And when you're sleeping, you're applying all of these things, giving the body a rest.
Yeah.
So you can really connect, you know, with yourself. And sure, things, you know, present themselves in weird, strange ways, but there's so much symbolism. And if you can learn and with practice, pay attention to those things and make a note of them. I mean, some people write them. I usually wake up and I instantly know. Sometimes it comes back at the end of the day. But to know that if you are somebody who wants a message or are open to that beautiful creativity of existence, then your dreams have big messages for you. And just go to bed with that willingness to get those messages. That's it. Lay there and be like, I'm open to whatever. And if I get it, I get it. And if I don't, I'll try again tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing to be able to dream as a gift.
Yeah.
In many ways, I feel like life is a dream.
It is. And I was going to say that because I'm like, actually, I am a dreamer. Like, since I was a kid, like, I just couldn't settle for the normal stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been a dreamer my whole life, and I will never take that back. I actually love that about myself. And I dream while I'm awake too. And I love that. I like live in a different world sometimes. And I love that world. However, I do know that sometimes I have to be brought back to reality and be here
Pisces.
And be present. Yes. Yeah. It's so hard for us. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of water signs, but I feel like in particular, Pisces have a really difficult time with this, you know? So, but I also know that dreams is one way to guide us. It's our intuition. It's everything that we believe in, whatever you believe in. And then also listening to, it's interesting. The way I feel about it is like the best way for me to listen to my intuition is actually my dreams. So like sometimes I have to start there and then it guides me into a different world, or it tells me in a different path or direction, but it always kind of starts with my dreams.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it could. I mean, I would say it's the
one time your brain is actually shut off.
Yes, and it's the beginner's guide into which it's a whole world we can get into, but we talk about this all the time, like synchronicities and signs. Girl. There's not enough time, but it's a beautiful practice to start being aware of those messages. And then when you wake up, you will capture them everywhere you go. I mean, if you want messages, they're always there for you. It's just about you.
It's like you walk into a room and you hear a song and you're like, I just heard this song. Or you see someone, you're like, I knew I was going to see you. Like, whatever. It's weird. Yeah.
Can we tell them about the feather?
Oh.
I can't. No, can you tell, please?
No, you tell stories way better because you're more detailed with your photographic memory, whatever.
So we were out one day and we were at a shopping center. I think so. And it was so beautiful because we were walking out. We had this whole spiritual lunch, as it always is. And, you know, Lonnie gets super excited. She's like, oh my God, there is a feather on the floor. Like, look. And I go to look and literally it's a curled up leaf. And as a non-judgmental Piscean, like very like, I'm your, you know, I was like,
yeah, what a liar.
Oh my God. Feather. Like, oh my God, girl.
I have really bad vision. Like my up close vision is like so bad. Sometimes I'm like, and then literally we took one step to the left.
Where we were going in the wrong direction.
We were going in the wrong direction anyway.
Yes.
So then when we started going in the right direction, a few steps, like I think it was like one step away. Like we looked down and it's
an actual feather.
White feather, yeah.
A white feather.
Yeah.
So like the fact that she was like, there's supposed to be a feather here for me, but it turned out to be a leaf. And then like if we would have gone in the right direction.
Because I get signs from my grandpa. So I'm always like, oh, it's my grandpa. He's my grandpa Tyra.
So can you explain about
Yeah,
like a little bit about that, because I think that's really interesting. Signs.
Yes, they are. Signs. They are everywhere. So you were getting into numbers and synchronicities and little things you hear on the radio, like a song that will remind you of someone. But like signs are real, and I believe that our loved ones, when they cross over, they are still with us. So when they give us signs, it's real, and I believe that. And like whether you believe in God or Buddha or whatever you believe in, they all give us these spiritual signs. And so I truly believe that. And sometimes I see them and it trips me out, but it's also validation that we are supported and we're loved and we're on the right path and we're supposed to learn. We're supposed to grow. We're doing the best that we can. Are we perfect at it? No, we may not be perfect at it. And actually we probably suck at it because we're human beings, but we will do the best that we can. And at the end of the day, as long as you follow your heart, follow your love, follow the signs, like you'll be okay. And some signs are bad. Some of them are like, don't do this.
Red flags.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, run for the hills.
Guilty.
Yeah. Do that too. Yes. So, you know, we all go through that, but signs are beautiful, and it doesn't mean everything. It's not going to determine your life or your path. But I think that they are there just to remind us that we're loved and supported. And I love that.
Yeah. That's it.
So, like our friendship, we are loved and supported, and we'll move on, and we'll probably cry and fight and be happy together tomorrow too with a glass of wine. So it'll be great.
Yes.
But but I just want to say thank you so much for being on this. She'll be on again. She'll be on again.
I am so honored.
Yes.
Like, what a true gift. And how lucky are we that we have love like Lonnie? I mean, literally I'm just so happy that you're doing this.
Also, you guys, like I'm wearing this like weird top, but like I'm wearing sweatpants, and like how awesome is it when you do a podcast that you can wear sweatpants?
I'm wearing workout pants.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't have to wear pants, right? I literally asked her this morning. I was like, can I just do the top?
I'm like, yeah, it's called camera
this
magic.
Is all, you know, she accessorized me, and
we've both been actors. We know how to do it.
It's good. Yeah. If you knew the setup, you would be like,
on my daughters.
Legit. There's a whole crew here.
Okay. Anyways, it's been really awesome, and we love you guys. Thank you, Gal.
Appreciate you. Love you. To season 2.